So then, we're on the ground, we have a dedicated line in, something happens. Where do we go from there? Well, every single person on the ground has a job. On this JSA, right down in here, these jobs are assigned. 911 call number 1, CPR first aid number 1. 911 number 2, CPR first aid number 2. And you can even break it down even further if you have more people. Every person has to know their job. And that is what they are to do. Not run around like a chicken with their head cut off. You are to focus on that job. You are to get the first aid kit. You are to get to the tree. You shut the chipper off. Getting everything all from the truck. Everyone has a job. That way everything's neat, organized. Organization means speed. Okay? Everything gets done quickly. We go back to the work site setup. We talked about their dedicated rescue line. Now let's talk about the first aid kit. Let's talk about any other equipment you have. Fire tools. Walgreens, we have to have our fire tools, our piss pump, our fire extinguisher, and our aerial rescue kit ready to rock 25 feet from the work site. Mandatory. If it's not out, you get written up. We write you right up. Every single person in this place that run the job site, first aid kit close to the tree, aerial rescue kit either in the tree or close to the tree. That's the way it should be. Make the industry shift. People will follow, but only if we do it. So from there, we go to the rescue itself, which Eric Palacio is going to handle.
I'll just add a little bit to what you were talking about on filling out a job briefing. So most of us, if you work for a larger company, you're probably having to fill one out. If you work for yourself, you're probably not filling one out. Am I right? Okay, so.
I worked for Powerline for 3 years, and before that, I was the most dangerous climber you ever seen in your life. But all those extra safety things don't take no longer than it does to do it today.
Absolutely, Bob. Thanks for sharing that. And it's important that if you do it, as yourself, it's really for you, I mean, at the end of the day, you're the one that's in the tree, right? And so it doesn't take long. So with what Bill was talking about, it's like, all right, this is our work site. We're going to be removing that redwood right there. Hey, Bill, you're going to be the climber. I'm going to be the ground guy. This is our gear for safety rescue. This is our first aid kit. This is Mrs. Jones's address. The nearest hospital is Enloe. Like, we live in Chico, so everyone kind of knows what the trauma hospital is, because if you go to just a regular hospital, now they might not be able to take care of you, right? They might just package you up again and send you somewhere else, and now all that's going to take time. So what we want to emphasize is, if you're working by yourself, it doesn't take much longer. Even if you don't put it on paper, you talk about it, you discuss it. Just like I said right now, this is a tree we're going to take down. What Bill going to do? What am I going to do? What's the other ground guy around going to do? The address for Mrs. Jones' house, where we can go in case anything happens, Hey, here's a phone with everything, right where the first aid kit is, maybe another rescue saddle. Because how many of us have an extra saddle? Yeah, there's a lot of people that only have one saddle. That's all they do, and it's like they work for themselves, and it's just the saddle for the main guy, and there's no other extra saddle or anything. How many of you guys get new ground guys every other day? What, now they don't know anything, right? They've never even seen this kind of work, and you get them and they're like, oh man, like the whole day they're just like admiring you, right? And then like a lot of us are using gadgets that are like even like far beyond anyone's imagination, right? So it's not like they're seeing like a prusik, they're seeing like a zigzag and a chicane. So that's another like big thing, right? So we really got to think about that. We got to think about it. We have someone new. I have to take the time to tell them, all right, Bill, look, this is how you work this gadget. If anything happens, call 911, do this. Like a lot of the times, that's really the only reason you take someone else. It's like, maybe this guy can call 911, see, probably pull a little bit of brush, at the end of the day, it's, yeah, yeah. And so emphasis, please, on sharing that information. It's on your own job site with anyone that comes on job site, with anyone that's new for the day, for your purposes of safety. It's like even if it doesn't get on paper, guys, but if you talk about it, that's the main thing, you know.
When you call 911, make sure you tell them it's a high-angle rescue. Because if you just tell them you got somebody stuck in a tree, a lot of times they won't send out a crew that's even trained in a high angle.
Let me hit on that even more. Okay, so has anyone ever had any experience with first responders coming to a job
They
site?
would not let anybody go up in the tree.
Okay.
Okay.
The average first responder high-angle rescue takes 45 minutes to an hour.
So we did one in Dallas not long ago, and we involved the fire department and pretty much raced them. Like, all right, you do a rescue and we'll do a rescue. And it took about 40 minutes, and that's because they were down the road ready to go. No one had to call them. They didn't have to fight through traffic, Dallas traffic, mind you. And they're just like up the road at the park. And we said, go, right? And so many of you follow Jimmy Pritchard. Jimmy, right? So Jimmy's a climber. Given that he's a competition climber, he's probably faster than a lot of us. Had it down, you know, in competition time, kind of, sort of, you know, we still managed it a little bit different. But it took the fire department forever. So they get there and they set up their ladder, right? Like, so what Bob says, Tom was talking about, you got to tell them exactly what they need, right? Because they might have to bring one ladder or the other one. So that's exactly what happened. They get there, they set up their truck with the ladder, they're like, oh, that's not long enough. And then they go and they get that other truck. I mean, I'm telling you, both trucks are at the park, right? Yeah, we're wasting some taxpayer money keeping those trucks at the park, but that's a different story. So, like, they go and get the other truck because the ladder wasn't long enough. So by the time they come back, and the guy's like me and you, right? Like in a hat. And they bust out some gadgets and they're like, oh, we don't have our gadgets to get them down. And we're like, are you kidding me? And
Long story short.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know Eric can talk.
No, but it's very important because they told us when they got there, they're like, look how long it took us, right? Like he did a spiel on why it was important that you guys learn how to do it. It's like, if you can do it and take care of it, you don't really need us here, you know? When we get here, the person's gonna be ready to go so we can take them, you know? And they took forever. They didn't have the right gear. And it was just like emphasis on why you gotta do it. Because he said, when we get there, no one's getting in the tree anymore. We're handling our own situation.
Get in the tree first.
Yeah, and it's like, they're gonna take all the time they need, you know?
The Public Safety Act, if we're off the ground, all we do is be off the ground. We have to be mid-rescue. As long as we're off the ground, Public Safety Act says that they have to help us. If we're not off the ground, by the time they get there and they take over, we can't be involved. So now you get that 10-minute window. Let's say it's a cut. You have 10 minutes to get this person down now and control the bleeding, right? Phone call, 911, high-angle rescue, 40 minutes. You're 30 minutes in the red already. Chance of survivability goes down, down, down every minute. Down, 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 down. Very important, get in the tree. That's why we're going to go over a very simplistic approach today, because you guys are going to start implementing dedicated access lines, hopefully, when you go back to your job. It's just a climbing line, that's all it is. We have extra in the truck, right? We're going to start using dedicated safety lines, and we're going to show you a very simplistic approach to getting the person out of the tree. Okay, why simple? The shit hits the fan, adrenaline's pumping, right? You're going to forget 90% of what you're going to learn today. And it's the most simple you can get. Nothing crazy, nothing advanced. We all know we can go to every different school under the world and learn every different method there is. Keep it simple, stupid. That way when you don't remember what to do, it's natural. And that's where we're going to take it. So if you had training before, this might just be a recap. If you haven't had training before, this is going to be pretty good for you. It's going to be an eye-opener. You know, how simple it can be. So, Eric, anything else?
Yeah, no, just a little recap of what a never rescue would be like, right? So, hey, Johnny, are you okay? No! man, what's wrong with him? No, looks like something's wrong. He can't come down. He's just there. He didn't respond. Hey, Bill, I'm gonna go up, check him out, start calling 911, let him know what's going on. It's a high angle rescue. I'm checking for power lines. So this is my inspection, right? First thing first, I'm checking for power lines. Is it safe for me to do a rescue? What's the number one rule of every rescue?
Don't become a second victim.
Don't become a second victim, right? So especially with power lines, storms and everything going on, first thing is there could be power lines. We see down power lines around there. He's not responsive. We might have to call this off. And a lot of people tell us, oh, well, I work with my family, or it's like, you know, you want your family to cry for one or for two people, right? And so, no power lines. Is there anything snagged, anything broken? We'll do a full one over there, but real quick, we're doing an inspection of the tree. Everything's good. Okay, I'm gonna go up. Bill, make sure you meet him at the end of the road. Put a cone out, put a sign out.
And that's instantly Drake, push up the chipper off, push up the truck off. Dave, get all the first aid kit on the bottom of the tree.
So now I'm going up. I'm gonna get up to him, the person, and check for what? I'm gonna check for breathing, right? If I go checking pulse, I'm probably gonna be feeling mine because I'm gonna be so agitated and full of adrenaline. I'll be like, all right, he's got a pulse, he's okay. It's really mine that I'm feeling. So breathing, right? If someone's not breathing for more than 5 minutes, they start losing their brain dead, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna check for breathing. Is he breathing? If he's not breathing, person automatically needs to come down. If the person is breathing, you see him up there and now he's conscious, I'm telling you that he doesn't know that he got hit. You evaluate, it looks like he's not bleeding out, then you stable him there and wait for the ambulance, wait for EMTs to get there, because you're now in the tree and can assist on getting him down.
According to TCIA and drip line, if you guys follow drip line, almost every single aerial accident is a struck by. It is the most common in our industry. Whether it be a rope hitting you hard, whether it be a log, some sort of rigging, whether it be slipping off a branch when you're taking a lanyard off from a secondary work position, you swing into the trunk. Kids, Danny wants you guys up there. So it's struck by is number one. Number two is heat exhaustion, heat stroke. Especially climbing out here in the west, that's probably our number one. So now we're talking about two responsive injuries, unless you're knocked unconscious. So most of the time during aerial rescue, your victim is going to be conscious and alert. They might not be lucid, but they're going to be conscious and alert that something's going on that's not right. And number three is bleed out from a major cut. So we're going to handle those. These are the most common accidents we're going to have, which we'll cover there, where we're doing the actual practical when we go to the campsite. So just pay attention.
Yeah, I think we're good. We can probably take a good 5 minutes to gather your hard hat, your PPE, so that we can. Our camp is right here with the Tofenberger banner, so we have a couple things set up there, and so yeah, take a couple minutes to grab some water, grab some coffee, grab your PPE, and meet us out there.